So just a few quick notes here so you can learn how to finish the job. So when you've finished the actual primary model, so meaning the placing of the floors and the beams and the columns, not the beams. And if you're actually doing the project as a solo work, you can create a link of your model in the architectural plan, and then you can move the height of the walls to right below the beams. And then after that, you can create coordinates because your structural model is actually okay in the modeling phase. And so after that, you can get to the placing of the rebars and the shop. Because if you actually do all of the work and the planning and then the models don't match up, you may run into issues. And so you need to be careful not to do that. So now I've created a save file after doing every step of the plan and named them, for example, version 1, 2, 3, and such. And this one that you see right here that's completed, I've named V4. So now I'll select the open option from here and then go to this destination, and let's see which versions we have here. This is the version 2, so we'll just select the original version 1. Here it is, and then we have the version 2 and 3 here. So I'll open up the version 2 and then I'll just do a quick checkup. So now that it's opened up, I'll go over to the File tab and then select the Save option. I'll just save the file for now as the same name and just add a coordinate at the end of it. And then using the purge tool, I'll purge the file to get it as light as possible so that we can do the coordinates with the architectural as well. So it just seems lighter because the next step is going to be the Navisworks works, and we don't actually need to select the rebars anymore because they really get the file heavy and slow down the processes. So here I'll select the save as option and name it version 4 dash coordinate model. After that, open up the options and put the maximum number of backups on 3 and OK. After that, we'll save it so we've created a light file here so we'll get to use it later on. So after it's done saving it, I'll go to the Manage tab, and using the Purge tool, I'll just delete anything that's not necessary in the file. We'll just have to wait for this process to finish, and then we'll go over to the Manage tab. Here, select the Purge Unused option, and then here, press this as many times as needed to get this to 0. So open this up and then OK again. Alright, do it once again and then one more time. So this method erases all of the elements that are actually present in the file but are not being used. And so there we are. After that, I'll select the plan and all of the items in it, and then I'm just going to set this up. Here we'll just have to wait for it to select it, and then we can change the settings like color and transparency as well. So here select this option and then select the override by element tool. Then on this menu put the transparency on 0 and then hit OK. Alright, after that we'll have to go over to the visibility graphics menu, and then here select the floors and then select the clear overrides option to delete this, and then do the same for stairs as well. Alright, then the structural columns and the foundation as well, and then the framing. Lastly, we'll do the same for the walls as well. Alright, let's go over to the filters tab and then remove these two from this menu. Alright, then OK, so that we can get a simple file without any color or transparency. And now I'll save it. Alright, so now this file can be used as a base for our facility installations because we've erased all of the rebars. And so if you feel like the beams actually bother you in the facilities projects, we can actually create a save as here and then remove them as well. And after that, we'll have a light project to work with. Now I'll close this over here, and then we'll go here and close the 3D tab as well. Alright, and after that, delete this one too. Click no on this window, and then we'll go over to this menu to open up the architectural plan. Because we work the architectural file as a collaborative work, I'll have to open it using the open option. So now go over to the arc folder and select this and open it up. Here select open manage links and then go over to the CAD formats tab. Here I'll delete all of these files so that we don't get this window popping up anymore. Alright, after that we'll go over to the 3D so we can take a look at our architectural file as well. And now we're going to link these files. So let's see which method we should use. I can go over to the Revit links and right click here and select new link. I can also go over to the insert tab and select the Revit link or manage link options and then add them here. Whichever method you use doesn't matter, so I'll open up the manage links and then go over to the structure folder and select the coordinate model file and open it up. And then we'll just have to wait for it to open them up and load them, and then I'll hit OK. Alright, so after that we'll just be waiting for the command to be executed. Alright, and now that it's been linked, I can go over to the left view and select the section box. When we were in the link file, it would have been better to hide the levels here when we were in the 3D view, and then we wouldn't have had to see them here, although we can still hide them here as well. As you can see, we have the piles here and they've been fixed on our model precisely. Alright, now I'll select this and pull it to this point here. Alright, and then we'll just wait for it to confirm, which may take some time because the file's quite heavy, and so the processes are a little bit slower. Alright, so after that, I should also mention an important point, and it's about the suspended ceiling. So we modeled the suspended ceiling with full details before doing the facilities. And I think I probably mentioned this point earlier as well. When we're in the structural phase and we're modeling the suspended ceiling, we don't actually model the suspended ceiling, or even if we do it to a normal height, or just the height that has been mentioned to us. And after the facility work has been done, because when engineers are doing the facilities, they always assume the highest point and bring the work up to that. They do the pipes and the installations right up below the ceiling and bring it as high as possible. Now, whatever space may be left, we can use for our suspended ceiling. So because of this very important point, when you're working these subjects, do not finish the detailing in the early stages of the process. First, let the engineer do their job, and then after that, you can do the connections. So let the height of the suspended ceiling be determined and fixed, and then you work. And as you remember, in this piece, we created 30 centimeter thick ceiling. So I'll right click on this and select all of the cases. Now, in order to demonstrate a couple of points, we can go over to the View tab and select the Filters option. Then create a new one here, which we'll name STR-Floors. Alright, I think we've already made a filter for this one, but I'll just create a new one for now under the rule-based filters. Alright, now select the floors, and then here put it under family name equals Let's see if we actually have family type in the first section. All right, select the type name, and then this equals str floors. Then apply and then OK. And then we go over to the visibility graphics menu. Here, go to the filters tab and then select add str floors and then uncheck the visibility box as well. After that, apply and OK. Now it should be hidden in this part right about now. Alright, and there we go. As you can see, it's been modeled precisely right here, and you can see it in full details. So now I'll go over to the front view. Alright, then over here, select this and then select the section box as well. Then I'll grab this and pull it here, and then we'll just have to wait for the process to finish up. So as you can see, I reduced the size of this area, and I can zoom in for you to see exactly what this part looks like. We have a complete and precise model done in full detailing. Here we have the flooring, and then as you can see, all of the parts connect to each other. And this just goes back to the attention that you had to the details when you were modeling this part. Alright, and just one more point here. You should also know that as well. I'll just open up a new file because this one's quite heavy and it may take some while to demonstrate with the commands. Now let's see if we can find a good enough spot to select here. Let's see. We'll just have to select the points where we can see the beams as well. For example, right here. If I zoom in on this, you can see how the wall and the beam connect. Because as we said, we're drawing the walls level by level. And if you actually remember, we already said that when we do the structural columns and beams, we can link them in the architectural Revit, which is actually our phase 1. Then we'll continue the walls right to the bottom of the beams right here. Or now I can go over to the plan, and if you actually pay attention to the columns, we can see how they connect with the joinery as well. And the walls here are okay as well because we've modeled them carefully. But we need to fix the parts where the walls go right through the beams. These are all done in phase 1. And if you actually pay attention to the stairs, the structural stairs and the architectural link up perfectly. So this one is the structure, which we try to do with full attention to details. And this is going to be very crucial because there's no way that you can find issues in this part after this stage if you actually follow the steps and the coding precisely. So now in the next parts, I'll explain about these in a light file so you'll fully understand it, because if I do it right here in this file, it may take some time. Oh, we have a door here. Let's see what kind of door it is because it hasn't been joined. Let's rotate the view to see. Alright, now let's see. It's in the ground floor. So let's open it up to see how we can fix the issue of this door right here. Alright, then in the plan, zoom in to see what we have. It's right here. So select the join tool. Alright, click on this, cancel here. Then let's go over here and using join, select this and join it up with the door. Alright, so we had joined these previously, and there are issues like these which we'll need to check from now on. So that part up there is joined already and it's fine for now. Now let's go back to the 3D, and as you can see, it has been fixed. So now I'll save this, and then in the next clip I'll explain about the technique.